We have, like I said before, our team chemistry is already very high, especially you don't see that early in the season so fast. With, I think, 7 seniors gone last year, we filled in a lot of gaps, but you can see our chemistry. We're in just a practice. We just had a scrimmage, and in that scrimmage, we played really well and almost went undefeated, only 1 game lost. So there's a ton of potential, and I think we'll hopefully see a lot of wins this year.
That's fantastic. So that being said, the excitement, the adrenaline, it all starts taking on Ben Franklin, a team that you're facing for the very first time. You've got them on home court here at John J. McMahon Gym. How important is it to come out there and set the tone for the season?
It's very important. This is how other teams are going to view us, especially then since we're new to this division. How we play here is how everyone will see us at the start. But I think we're ready to come out strong. Obviously, it sucks that our setter is out, but we have 2 setters that are just as good, ready to come.
Okay, that being said, this is what I'm expecting from you this year.
Okay.
300 plus kills.
Yeah.
3A Region Player of the Year.
Okay.
How about 3A Player of the Year? I know you got it in the tank. Come on now.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, because the family name, they're expecting it,
yeah,
right?
Gotta keep the legacy up.
That's right. Junior year, gotta rise and make it happen, right? There you go. Elizabeth Steinkamp, outside hitter galore. Tommy Steinkamp. And Tommy boy, wherever you are, just remember, brothers don't shake hands, brothers hug. Meanwhile, back to volleyball. Rylan Keene, what a great freshman season she had. 234 kills, a force as soon as she stepped on the court for Seton. Now she's a sophomore, and she's going to provide some big-time force on the outside, force on the court, leadership in the locker room, and we caught up with Rylan before the match against the Chargers. Well, Miss Keene, first off, great freshman season last year. You came on this campus, you really set the tone, over 200 kills, you were a leader, and now here you are in your sophomore season. And now the expectations are really high for this team, moving from the 4A down to the 3A South. Still a lot of great competition. Your thoughts on how good this team can be this year?
I'm really excited for this season. I cannot wait. I'm really excited now because I'm a sophomore, so that comes with a lot of great things. This team is great. We have great chemistry. We do a lot of things together. Like we went out, we ate Chick-fil-A together the other day after our workout. I think on Saturday the other day. We're trying to get a team bonding thing going on. So I'm really excited for this season.
Yeah, my mom always used to tell me that bonding at Chick-fil-A is always a big thing.
Yeah.
So I've always tried to make it an important part of my team bonding with friends. Chick-fil-A, that's in our future. So that being said, it's finally here, game week.
Yes.
You're finally here. What's the excitement like to finally get to the regular season?
We're hyped. We're so excited. Obviously, we have maybe an injury, but that's okay. We're still going to work hard, push through it, and we have a lot of great players this year, so we're all really excited. You know, that being said, so you've talked about the elephant in the closet, but we're going to release the elephant because it's well known. As soon as we walked into the gym, we saw the broken wing in Sophia Shalapour, your setter, who had over 500 assists last year. How do you compensate for that loss? Obviously, it's hard. We have 2 other really good setters. It's both their first years, but I'm sure they do great. They're amazing setters, and I love playing with them. So.
Yeah. So that being said, this week it's Ben Franklin.
Yes.
That opens the season. A first-time meeting ever between Ben Franklin and Seton Catholic right here at John J. McMahon Gym. Give us kind of the mindset of starting here, an opponent you never faced, and setting the tone for the season right here on home court.
We actually scrimmaged them on Saturday. We had a scrimmage with them, I think at Red Mountain or Mountain Point, can't remember. But yeah, they're a really good team, and we're excited for some good competition this year.
Okay, for you personally, we got to up the ante a little bit this year for you. The expectations are higher because why? Because the way you came out and set the tone for your freshman season. I've already talked about Elizabeth Steinkamp, what I'm expecting from her. So what can we expect from you this season? Because like, there's no reason why you cannot be in the all first team 3A region in being on that first team this year?
Thank you. I'm excited for some good team chemistry and to get some good kills and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's about it? So
Yeah.
it's all team based.
Yeah.
No accolades, but safe to say, if you guys win, the individual accolades will come.
Yeah. This year especially, we're really big on chemistry and working as a team. That doesn't mean just the players, but also the coaches. So.
Got it.
Yeah.
So players and coaches. So before I let you go and get back to work, how do you spend your off season? What do you do in the summer?
A lot of private lessons, obviously Seton open gyms, and where I play at Club 1, I do a lot of stuff there as well.
Yeah, so
Yes.
the people on Club 1, they're very happy that we're giving them a pub right now.
Yeah.
Wow, and we don't even get a commission for that invoice. I won't invoice them whatsoever. All right, Miss Keene, you have a great year and go
Thank
out
you.
there and kill it.
Thank you.
Miss Keene, ready to go out there and have a great year for the Sentinels. Rylan Keene, what a special young lady. She's walking, or actually running, right behind me as the Seton team is doing their last bit of strolls. You'll see them right now as they are circling the court. The second set of the JV game is in a thriller, as they would say. 22-18, the Sentinel JV squad won the first set, so they're trying to close this one out. So we will have some more coming up from John J. McMahon Gym. Well, of course, we'll intro the game here shortly, and then we'll have the game itself. A lot more coming from the campus of Seton Catholic off Ray Road and Dobson, off the 101 or 202, depending on where you're traveling from, in the East Valley. Keep it locked, keep it loaded. Paulo Hutchison. Oh, and before we go to our cyber break, let's see if we can punch up our pal. We haven't seen him in a while, Freddie the Flamingo, and I'm being told that Freddie's working his way to the campus as we speak. He's hanging out at the lake. He's doing some fish diving, but he is going to join us here at some point. So keep it locked, keep it loaded. We'll see you very soon right here from John J. McMahon Gym on the Seton Catholic Sports Network. And there we are. Welcome into John J. McMahon Gym. I'm Joe Pequeno. So glad you can join us right here on the Seton Catholic Sports Network. Volleyball season up and running for Coach James Johnson and his team. They return a slew of great players: Elizabeth Steinkamp, Rylan Keene, as well as libero Louise Hall. They moved from Class 4A to the 3A South, and they open the season on home court with some big-time aspirations. Now tonight, they open the season against Ben Franklin, a team led by new coach Jane Valahi, who's got a basically senior-loaded squad, a team that lost in the 3A quarterfinals a year ago. And talking to the coach a short time ago, she feels this team, the focus, it's 3A state title or bust. We're going to have the starting lineups, the insights, everything from John J. McMahon Gym right here. One location, the East Valley, off the 202, Dobson Road, Ray Road, a combination, a platter of streets right here on the Seton Catholic Sports Network. And we welcome you inside the gym of John J. McMahon Gym, where tonight the Sentinels, led by head coach James Johnson, open up the season in a first ever matchup against Ben Franklin. And these are two teams with state title aspirations. So good to have you with us right here on the Seton Catholic Sports Network. I am Joe Pequeno, and it's a brand new year of Seton athletics, and I am so glad, proud, and honored to be part of this university, making calls and giving you the insights, and along the way, having all those great moments with all the great athletes on campus. By the way, as the lovely Jen Hutchison has walked by, we want to let you know that the Cambridge Academy volleyball team, led by the coach, Katie Seton, who was a class alum in 2000, is here with that program. So just wanted to get that out there. And our student section tonight, if Paulo can dial them up a little bit, they are dressed in red, white, and blue, sporting the colors of the United States of America. I'm all about it. So this Seton team, and they've got their red, white, and blue firepower ready to go. Elizabeth Steinkamp led the team with 257 kills last year. Rylan Keene, 234 kills. The big question, senior Sophia Shalapur, a broken arm, suffered right before the season. She led the team with over 500 assists, so the team's going to have to compensate for her loss. Louise Hall, so excited, she anchors the libero for the team. On the other side, the Chargers. Mentioned once again, they lost in 3A quarters a year ago. Senior-laden squad. They're led by Bentley Forgren, Chloe Wright, and setter Anja Strom, each with over 100 kills last year. First ever meeting between these both teams. So it's going to be an interesting affair. So both teams are close to being warmed up. Going to kind of give you the starting lineups for Ben Franklin. Number 1, J.C. Sparks, designated setter. Number 3, Chloe Wright, outside hitter. Number 4, Taylor Oliver, middle hitter. Number 11, Carolee Sanders, ace setter. Anja Strom, ace setter. Number 9, Alexa Benali, middle hitter. And number 2, Bentley Forsgren, the outside hitter. For Seton, you can see them on the court right now, getting their pregame warm-ups in. Number 3, Fia Fisher, that middle Force, number 2, Madeline Bell, also in the middle. Number 5, Louise Hall, libero. Number 7, Rylan Keene, outside hitter. Maddie Morrissey, a junior who's going to get some work at center. Your OPP, Sydney Stumpf, and number 18, Elizabeth Steinkamp, Steinhammer, Stein Lumber, Stein Finish. Elizabeth, I'm expecting a big season. I put her on the spot on the pregame show. There's no reason why Elizabeth Steinkamp should be in contention for 3A Player of the Year. Last year, the Sentinels were 15-2, 4-6 in the Desert Sky, finishing 4th in the league. They made the play-in round of the playoffs as the 17th seed, but lost to St. Mary's in 3 sets. Team stats, they averaged almost 10 kills, 14 digs, almost 9 assists, hitting percentage of .158. James Johnson, the veteran coach, his staff, Riley Johnson, Brian Milhone, and John Engelbert. That is as good of a coaching staff as you'll find anywhere, any division in the state. Kills, Steinkamp led the way with 257, Rylan Keene 234, Fia Fisher, that is, 123. Assists, Shalapur 539. That's going to be the big question mark for the team this season. Blocks, Michaela Bell, team high 33, Fia Fisher with 25. Digs, Emily Yaley with 295. She is now on to the collegiate portion of her life, and Louise Hall with a $112. Ben Franklin. Chargers come to town after finishing 4th in the 3A South a year ago at 7-3, 18-11 overall. In the playoffs, they knocked off Sholo in 4 sets, but lost in the quarterfinals to Monument Valley in 4 sets. We mentioned their starting lineup. Last year, Chargers averaged almost 10 kills, 13 digs, 9 assists with 3 aces per set, with a hitting percentage of 0.109. Attack errors, 591, so no question they can be cleaner, but every team can. And that's the focus of every team going in, is to be strong on the return, be great on the assists, and execute with your pins, and be a force in the middle to handle any kind of returns. Kills, Bentley Forsgren led the Chargers with 161. Chloe Wright, a $130. Anja Strom also in the mix. Assists, Holly Walker with 200. Digs, Chloe Wright, 218. Lexi Kohlberg, 198. Bentley Forsgren, 173. Assists, Holly Walker, 200. Blocks, J.C. Blair with 16. Sarah Householder, 14. And the Chargers coaches, led by Coach Jane Vilahi, played at Phoenix College, part of that great 2011-2012 Bears team, and she went on to play D1 ball at a smaller school, John C. Smith. She was a setter. She's been an assistant at St. Mary's, also was an assistant last year at Skyline, and now she's running the show because she is too good of a coach to be on the sidelines. So she talked about her team, basically saying with this squad, they're thinking 3A title. That's the focus. They are ready, they're locked in and ready to go. So Seton gets a test early on in the first ever meeting between these two teams, so there's going to be a lot of excitement and a lot of enthusiasm in the air for this matchup. And as we look at the 3A Central standings, and this is the new standings that Seton will be in. You got Apache Junction, Coolidge, Florence, Globe, Seton, and Valley Christian. Valley Christian just right up the road in Chandler off 56th Street and Ray. They've got a good athletic program, and you better believe Valley Christian, when we talk about the 3A Central, they're going to be in the mix to potentially win the title. Now for Ben Franklin, part of the 3A South. Valley Christian was in that last year. Gilbert Christian, and we talk about Valley Christian going back to them, 8-0, 31-9 overall. Gilbert Christian, 8-2, 23-16-0. Florence, now part of the 3A Central. Ben Franklin, Santan Foothills, Coolidge, which is now also in the 3A Central, ALA Ironwood, Globe, and ALA Anthem South. So for Seton, schedule, we're going to kind of go through it. Ben Franklin here, Thatcher next Tuesday night. Then a big one next Thursday, hosting, make that on Wednesday, taking on Mesquite. They'll travel to ALA Ironwood on September 10th, host Gilbert Christian on September 12th, travel to ALA West Foothills on the 16th. On the 18th, they go to Highland Prep. September 20th, Florence right here, then a return trip to Florence on 9/24. September 25th, big one at Valley Christian. October 1st, Apache Junction at home, followed by Globe the next night. On October 9th, they go to Coolidge. October 21st at Odyssey Institute. October 22nd, Valley Christian here. October 24th at Apache Junction. October 28th at Globe, and October 30th, they've got Coolidge. So we are closing in. Both sides have got their warm-ups in. They're about to be introduced, and we're going to take a short time out. Going to get the names of the referees, and next time you see us, we're playing. We're going to serve, spike, and give you all the fun. Joe Pequeno, Paulo Hutchison, and do we have our friend? Is Freddie the Flamingo about to make an appearance? We will find out shortly. Keep it locked and loaded. More from John J. McMahon Gym coming up on the Seton Catholic Sports Network.
Behavior should be courteous and reflect the spirit of good sportsmanship. We ask you to cheer for your team and show respect towards your school and the opponents and game officials. At this time, please rise and remove your hats to begin our contest with prayer. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Dear Lord, thank you for the many opportunities you have given us. Thank you for this time to gather in the spirit of competition. Please help these athletes and officials perform to the best of their abilities and keep them free from injury. St. Elizabeth Ann Seton, pray for us. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, amen. Please remain standing for the national anthem. And referee Scott Anderson. Now for your starting lineups. Introducing our guest from Ben Franklin, coached by Jane Bayhali. Number 10, JC Sparks. Number 3, Chloe Wright. Number 4, Taylor Oliver. Number 11, Carolee Sanders. Number 14, Anya Strong. Number 9, Alexa Benally. And number 2, Bentley Forgeskrin. And now, introducing your Seton Catholic Sentinels, coached by James Johnson. Number 2, Maddie Bell. Number 3, Thea Fisher. Number 5, Louis Hall. Number 7, Rylan Keene. Number 9, Maddie Morrissey. Number 11, Sydney Stump. And number 18, Lizzie Steinkamp.
So there we go. Starting lineups on both sides, ready to go. High octane, high energy. Two teams with 3A title aspirations. Seton moving from the 4A Desert Sky into the 3A Central. And we got Ben Franklin, quarterfinalist from a year ago, part of the 3A South. First ever meeting. Seton in the home white and red, of course. Ben Franklin, the Chargers, in the sky blue. This is going to be an interesting matchup, and it could be a postseason preview right in week 1 in the first ever matchup between these two teams. Seton trying to set the tone for the year. These squads recently met in a scrimmage in which Seton won, but that was with Sophia Shalapour, who was healthy at the time, and now she is out 8 weeks with a broken arm. So there is a chance she can make it back for the postseason, and we see our good friend Freddie the Flamingo. He's had a summer of hanging out at the pool or the pond. Pond is definitely good for him. He's flexed his feathers, and now he's ready to get back in and check out some volleyball and Seton athletics. So we are ready to get going from John J. McMahon Gym. Joe Pequeno on the call, Paulo Hutchison, the man with the plan, the man that makes things happen with all the cameras, all the computers, and all the IFBs that work, unlike mine, that I just spent $100 for. Needs to say he's got my back, and I've got his, at least for the time being. Love him, and a man of numerous convictions and numerous words. And we are getting ready to get this one going. Your floor judge is Tina Anderson, and in the chair is Scott Anderson. Yes, there is relations there. They are married. And we are getting ready to get this one going. On the serve will be Carolee Sanders for Ben Franklin. And this one underway. Louise Hall digs it out. Rylan Keene, little bump, and a beautiful setup for Seton. Rylan Keene, such a great freshman season a year ago. 230 plus kills, and that time a high IQ play. Saw the middle and the outside blockers there, and that one drops in off the tip. An early Seton 2-0 lead. On the serve, Madeline Bell. And Maddie Bell had a great year last year in the middle for the Sentinels. Can't stress enough how good she was. Dug out nicely by the Chargers. Outside hit. Seton could not get to it. Good execution on the other side by J.C. Blair. A 2-1 Seton lead early. On the serve, Bentley Forsgren. Forsgren serves it up. Dug out by Steinkamp. In the middle. And they call a net violation against Seton, and we're knotted at 2. So a new force in the middle for Seton and Maddie Morrissey. Junior, she's got some height and she's got some pop. Forsgren, Keen in the back end, set up nicely. Work that right side and slam home by Sydney Stumpf, the OPP, the sophomore, doing some things and getting her opportunity. Some early substitutions, Hannah Ostrowski checking in, as well as number 16, Sarah Garreau, the OPP. So Ostrowski coming in, and obviously when she's going to the service line, she's got the ability to serve to perfection. Seton with a 3-2 lead early. Ostrowski will fire it up, knocks it over. Good serve, a lot of spin, and that could not be handled by Taylor Oliver. A 4-2 Seton advantage. Ostrowski, a sophomore, 5'8", a lot of height on this Seton team. The lefty fires it up. Good spin, drops right in the middle of the floor. Back end by Seton. Set up, pooched over. Now it's the Chargers on the attack, setting up that outside. And blocked with a purpose. Keen and Fisher. K&F, a combo platter of goodness. A 5-2 Seton advantage. Ostrowski on a nice little run. The lefty fires it up. Almost a dead flat drop ball for the ace. Louise in the middle. Chargers keep it alive. Worked over. Steinkamp back in the middle. And that time, a battle is won by the Chargers. Taylor Oliver. And it's 5-3. Chargers on the serve. First-year coach Jane Bulahi is going to do some great things. Was a standout volleyball player in her time at Phoenix College, part of the 2011-2012 region champs. On the serve, Anja Strom. Strom, a force for this Ben Franklin team. Good work by Keen in the back row. Weiland will just knock it over. Chargers go into their offense. Right side. And a violation against the Chargers. And the Sentinels have doubled up the Chargers 6-3. Keen on the serve. And we have a break in the action as Coach Vilahi talking to her team. Going over some possible formations and making sure her team is in line. Keen on the serve. Knocks it across, and Keen serves up the ace. Rylan Keen coming up big. Rylan looking to do some more damage from the service line. She had 36 aces last year. Good spin on the back end. Chargers keeping alive. Little bump over. Fisher's there. Ostrowski. And Elizabeth Steinkamp high and hard for the point. And the principal of Seton Catholic, Victor Surja, comes in and his beautiful wife. Keen. on the serve. Shoots it. Back end. Set up nicely by the Chargers. Keene is there. And we have a net violation against Seton. 8-4 Seton advantage. So glad you can join us right here on the Seton Catholic Sports Network. Joe Pequeno on the call. We'll see you throughout the year with Seton Athletics. Football right around the corner. The team's about to open up their season. And Steinkamp, cross court. A little spin job and gets that done. Elizabeth Steinkamp, I challenged her this year. There's no reason why the Steinhammer should be in conversation for the 3A Player of the Year. Fia Fisher works that right in the middle. And the big difference right now between these two teams, Seton so good on the receiving end, and right now the Chargers having some difficulty. And look, if you cannot be on good terms on the receiving end of any serve, then it's going to be a long year for you, and you're not going to have the opportunity to make a deep state title run. And Seton now leading 10-4 in this first set. And they're doing this without Sophia Shalapur, their starting setter who had over 500 assists last year, broke her arm right before the season. Obviously some devastating news for the team, but you know, sports and life, it's about the next opportunity, the next person giving a chance to step up and showing what they can do. And the other great thing about the new season of Seton Athletics is to see one of my favorite people all time is Jen Hutchison, who's sitting literally 3-4 feet away from me. Always a pleasure, one of the best people I know, a sweetheart, and one of the great people on the campus of Seton Catholic. And I had a chance to see one of my favorite coaches, the great Karen Self, who's about 5 rows up. Karen this year will be going for the all-time women's record in wins this year. And of course, we'll be following and tracking that throughout the season. Chargers. And Seton right there, a combo platter. Maddie Bell, as well as the tall, cool one, Sarah Giroux. And it's 11-4, Seton lead. Seton's got some tall bodies. They're going to be able to defend the net and work it with their pins on the outside. Fia Fisher. Had a good conversation with Fia. You talk about someone who's dedicated themselves in the offseason to being in great shape. Fia Fisher is muscle from top to bottom. She has got ready for this season, and she has pounded the weights, and she is ready to have a phenomenal year. And I applaud her for dedicating herself to the physicality and the nature and being in the great shape possible. And you can see her right now, courtesy Apollo, as she serves it up. Fia on the back end of the Chargers, and right now the Chargers trying to get back into this first set. Worked, little bump over, and Giroux, soft touch over the outside blocker and drops in for the point. And right now, 13-4. And Giroux, as the young fans have shouted out, Sarah Giroux is a freshman. And Sarah Giroux has got a lot of great height. I wish she could have shared about a foot with me when I was a younger kid. She's got skill, and in the middle, Maddie Bell's got some power. And it's a 14-4 Seton advantage. Great energy here tonight. And right now, the Chargers fan base, they are in a state of shock. The team with 3A title aspirations, well, they're facing a Seton team that has gone through so many of the epic battles in 4A. And Giroux with another slam down. 15-4. Got to remember, Seton, as we have a timeout on the court, they played in such a hard conference last year, taking on Saguaro, St. Mary's, Arcadia, and then they, in their non-conference, taking on teams like Notre Dame Prep and Mesquite. It's just quality teams up and down as well. And of course, Mesquite was also in the 4A Desert Sky, but needs to say their schedule prepped them for such high level competition. Now they're in 3A, and they're going to bring all that veteran experience, all that talent with them down to 3A, and there's no question, if Seton can stay healthy, if they can override the injury to Sophia Chalapur, they're going to be in the conversation. They've got a great coaching staff, Brian Milhone, as well as his daughter Riley. Brian Milhone, whose daughter played at Seton just like how Riley Johnson did, and John Engelbert, who coaches the boys here on campus. Victor Cerna, the principal on hand, catching the action. Fia Fisher, good serve in the back end, and miscommunication, and another point drops, and it's a 16-4 Seton advantage. And right now the Chargers getting smacked in the face by Seton, feeling the energy, feeling the Seton front line, and right now not being able to serve and receive well. Fisher, outside attack, and Seton reads it well. Off the rafters, they keep it alive. Keene off the basketball glass. Chargers going back on offense. Little bump across, not gonna be good enough because Steinkamp is gonna power it home. And that was just great execution by Seton. Did not give up on the ball off the rafters and powered it home. James Johnson, the veteran coach, and Fia is on a roll at the service line. Fia shoots it across. Chargers working their outside. Blocked, kept alive. Now it's the Chargers at the net. Keene in the back row. Steinkamp. Chargers working into their pins. Fisher, Bell, Steinkamp, boom. 18-4. And the first set route is on. And the fan base decked out in the red, white, and blue. Loud and proud. Stars, Stripes, and Sentinels serving up the ace. And Fia Fisher is on a roll. Her stat line, rocking and rolling from the service line this first set. Shoots it across, and that time a service error, but a tremendous run. Seton, if we want to talk about points, just wrapped up an 11-0 run. So now it's the Chargers looking to answer back. Service line, Eden Nelson. Keene is there, outside. Steinkamp, Nelson back row. Set up to Nelson. Louise Hall, bump over. Block at the net by Maddie Bell. More blocks by Seton, outside. The block over. Hall keeps it alive. Steinkamp, back row. Chargers do just enough. Hall, bump over. Chargers work the pin. Hustling play by Otrowski. Block at the net. Another block by Seton. Another return. And Seton answers the bell. And Giroux making a statement. 20-5 Seton. That is what you call some high-level volleyball. And there is some great energy in this building. Maddie Morrissey. Maddie, a junior setter, gonna get some opportunities tonight. Shoots it across, a good one. Deep in the back row. Chargers, and that one is hit to the other side of the universe. That one could boldly go where only one man has gone before. 21-5 Seton. A service error goes back the other way. But so far, all is great on the campus of Seton Catholic, 21-6. In between, we'll talk about some of the action coming up on campus and for the other athletic programs as well. On the serve, Alexa Benali. Benali Right into Ryland Keene. Saved at the net. Steinkamp will push it. And they're going to say net violation against Seton. 21-7. Sentinels 4 points away from taking the first set. Benali, good hard serve. Louise Hall. And giving chase was Steinkamp. But give Alexa Benali a lot of credit. She has got a good hard serve, a little backspin, and goes right in that back row. No question the Chargers are going to have a hard time digging themselves out of this first set, but Benali is making a statement on the service game. And that one is too long. Sentinels now 3 points away from taking this first set. And the Sentinel student section, lean, mean, and not full of caffeine. Little bump over and good work in the middle. Carolee Sanders with a good soft touch. And sometimes a good soft touch is all you need. 22-10. Sentinels in a commanding first set lead. Sanders at the line. Hall, good dig. Keene across the way. Knocked over by Stumpf. Chargers setting up their offense. And a good hard throw down by Taylor Oliver. Now the Chargers settling in just a bit. And stepping into the court is Carter Abey, the men's basketball coach. Always a pleasure to see him. Outside. Working the pins, little block, and the Sentinels kept alive off the net. And good work on the outside by the Chargers. Bentley Forsgren. 22-12. Or make that 22-11 on the scoreboard. Hall, set up in the middle. Good block, Bell. Another good set. And that time a miss hit by Ryland Keene. And James Johnson taking a step up. Hall on the back end. And that one is stroked by Maddie Bell. 23-12. Sentinels 2 points away. Maddie Bell, 19 aces in her freshman year. Chargers outside. And that was a good cross-court knock by Maylee Moses. 24-13. Forsgren goes back to work at the service line. And a service error. So now it is 24-13. Sentinels making some changes. Hannah Ostrowski back in to potentially win it at the service line. Sarah Giroux, the freshman, in that middle. Set point for the Sentinels. Good hard spin. Benali in the back row keeps it alive. Steinkamp. Giroux fires it. Chargers go back on offense. Little bump and good work, and they stay alive. Eden Nelson with the winner. 24-14. And Coach Vilahi getting her lineup situated. Lena Valita, number 5, and Sentinels student section, and that one is out. And that's going to do it. The Sentinels take the first set 25-14. A good start for the Sentinels. And we'll take a short timeout. More to come from John J. McMahon Gym. We are winding down to the second set. Sentinels dominating first set 25-14. And Friday night, the Sentinels football team, Pete Walheim and crew, part of the 4A Southwest Division this year, they travel to Ironwood Ridge. Sentinels looking to get things going the right way and on the road, and we wish them the best of luck. And then the following week, on Friday night, they will host longtime conference rival St. Mary's, then a short trip the following week to Valley Christian. So those are games to put on your schedule. And how about the flag football team? Can't say enough about them. Coach Willie Baker has got a good young team, and they opened up the season September 16th against Mesquite, right at home. So talk about a crosstown rivalry. Two teams, blue and red and blue. They see different colors, they wear different color jerseys, and the other sides just don't like each other. So that's going to be one to watch. And Billy Baker also coaches the men's and women's soccer teams, is excited about this group of girls and feels they've got the potential to be something special and something strong. So now we go to the second set. On the floor for Seton, Sydney Stump, number 11. Maddie Bell in the middle. Steinkamp in the back row. Fia Fisher, Rylan Keene, as well as Maddie Morrissey, who's doing a good job getting her work in at setter. James Johnson in good spirits after seeing his team take the first set. Chargers regrouping and a moment of conversation. Tina Anderson and Scott Anderson, referees for tonight's contest. Yes, there are relations there. A refereeing husband and wife team. So Tina having a discussion with Fia Fisher and making the appearance right in front of me. See our good friend. What's up? Our good buddy. That is Freddie the Flamingo, back for a new season of Seton Athletics. He's been hanging out in the lake. He's been eating some fish. He's fed. No need to hibernate. And he's ready to get things going. And here comes Elizabeth Steinkamp to serve it up and talk about a force from the service line. Led the team with 80 aces last year. Steinkamp, Stein lumber, Stein hammer, Stein finish. Tommy boy, wherever you are, just remember, brothers don't shake hands, brothers gotta hug. Chris Farley, Tommy boy. For Tommy Steinkamp out there and the Steinkamp family, hope you're well. Hope to see you at the arena sometime soon. Tommy, make good grades. Have fun. Remember, go to class and enjoy yourself, but knock out that degree. That's the most important part of your time at Arizona State. Meanwhile, younger sis
13 and 7. That's why I was yelling at you.
taking care of business. So we have a slight delay on the court. Tina Anderson making sure jerseys and numbers and jerseys all match and are all situated. So there you go. Louise Hall on the floor. Fia Fisher taking a little break. Steinkamp ready to get this one going. Second set from John J. McMahon Gym. So glad you can join us on the Seton Catholic Sports Network. Steinkamp, good hard serve in the middle. And a good throw down by Taylor Oliver. And that's the kind of start the Chargers are looking for. They were stunned as Seton went on that 11-0 run in the first set. Oh my goodness, my good friend Jen Hutchison just got me some caffeine. Can't thank her enough. Outside, a little bump over. Hall is there in the middle. Good block by the Chargers, but it's out of bounds. And that's the kind of veracity Rylan Keene can bring. RK high and hard on that left side. So Maddie Bell serving up the fun. Bell with 19. Aces a year ago. Make that was her sister. She didn't have any last year, but needs to say gives Seton a 1-point advantage. And the referees are telling Seton to wait for us. Got to wait for the whistle. Good knock across. Chargers back row, they get it over. Steinkamp setting it up. Good set. Good block at the net by the Chargers. One more time, Keene. And Keene fires it home. 3-1. Sentinels advantage. So good to be back in the John J. McMahon Gym. Energy high and a lot of good things could be in the works for the Sentinels athletic program on this court this year. Little bump over, and that is some good soft touch, a good read by Bentley Forsgren. Forsgren, a leader with over 100 kills last year and trying to will her team into this second set. These two teams did meet recently in a scrimmage, one in which Seton handled. Outside, Stump fires it up. Chargers hustling. Steinkamp back row in the middle. And that is thrown down. And that's throw down something fierce by Fia Fisher. And Maddie Morrissey is doing a nice job on the setting for the Sentinels. A 4-2 Seton advantage. Wotrowski's coming back in. And Giroux in the middle. 4-2, Seton. Ostrowski, Hannah that is, going to work. (4-2) as we wait for the refs to sort things out. And there might be a uniform delay by the Chargers, but they're playing on. So a 4-2 Seton advantage. Hannah Ostrowski on the serve. And Tina and her husband, Scott, will talk things over, possibly about volleyball or what's for dinner later. Needs to say they're talking about the potential delay in this one, and Chargers are trying to figure it out as well. And right now, that's about what is slowing down. So looking at the scorer's bench, it looks like there was a little bit of maybe a jersey differential that they're trying to sort out. And that's about the only thing that is slowing down Seton right now. So Maddie Bell, as we reflect back, no aces last year. Of course, her sister Michaela had a good senior year for the team with 19 aces. We wish Michaela the very best. So now we are ready to go. Everything's figured out, everything's sorted out. Where is Bel Air Academy? I'd like to know. I'd like to go back to school and take a class in bioengineering. Louise Hall, good diving effort. Ostrowski, Keene will bump it over. Chargers back row. They set up the right side. Soft touch. And the soft touch falls. J.C. Blair. And the Chargers over the last several points, the last 7 or 8, have really starting to show what they're capable of. Better reads, better hits, and better service returns. Lexi Kohlberg will shoot it up. Kohlberg, and that one way long. Rylan Keene going to work on the service line. Fabulous freshman looking for a super sophomore year. Outside, blocked at the net. Hall will set it up. A little bump over. And that one is out of bounds. 5-4, second set. On the serve, number 12, Maylee Moses. Moses. And Louise Hall gets just a tip. So we're knotted at 5, and Hall was debating whether to let that one go. And Moses back on serve. Steinkamp digs it out. Ostrowski. Steinkamp, back row, Chargers are there. Bumped over the middle, Steinkamp. Ostrowski to middle. And they call it against Seton. Call that 4 hits. So now Ben Franklin takes their first lead of the match. Moses on the serve. Service error. We're knotted at 6. Maddie Bell coming back in. Louise Hall checking out. Thea Fisher on the serve. Thea. Chargers almost a miscommunication. An attack error by J.C. Blair. Seton back on top. Those are the worst when you're in position, got a good look, and you just fire the return right in the net. And you have no one to blame but yourself. Volleyball is such a high accountability sport. Attack errors can cripple you. That and the service game. You can't even have a chance of taking a match if you can't get the ball over the net. Chargers setting up the middle. Benali gets it over, and Benali shoots that one to Mesa. An 8-6 Seton advantage. And going to work. Thea Fisher expecting big things in the middle from Thea. Service error. Now 8-7. Louise Hall back on the floor. Chargers making some moves. Bentley Forsgren back in. Service line. Sarah Householder. Householder going to work. Householder, a force in the middle last year with 14 blocks. And this one even at 8. Householder, good tight serve. Keene, back row. Ostrowski. Blasted and won by Steinkamp. Elizabeth Steinkamp. Steinhammer fires it home. A 9-8 Seton advantage in this second set. And right now you get the sense the Chargers have felt and worked their way into a good comfort zone on the road. Hall is there to deny the little dink over. Back row, set up left side, good block by Seton, and won by the Chargers. Bentley Forsgren, their leading killer last year with 161, wins that. 9-9 second set. And you know James Johnson would love to take this one up and go up 2-0 to head to the third. Knocked across. Steinkamp, and that falls. There's a blast right in the middle of the court. Hesitation by Ben Franklin. Now it's Steinkamp. About to go to work, and we talked about how good she was at the service line. 80 kills last year. Outside, Louise Hall keeps it alive. Keene, good work. And they say Seton touched the net. Even at 10s. So glad you could join us right here on the Seton Catholic Sports Network. Going to work, Carolee Sanders. Bumped and won by Taylor Oliver in the middle. 11-10 as John Engelbert, the assistant coach, having some words of wisdom for Ryland Keene. Back row, Louise Hall. And the Chargers go up by 2. Good placement, good serve. Sanders going to the service line with a purpose. And now the fan base bringing it. And Seton. And that time, an over the net violation by Ben Franklin. 12-11, Maddie Bell Going to shoot it up and gives it right back. 13-11 as Louise Hall checks back in. Maddie Bell checking out. Good crowd on hand. Plenty of Sentinels, students, parents, coaches, feathered friends, visiting coaches, you name it. Served up, Hall, Keene. It's going to be a back row attack for Steinkamp. Off the twine. Chargers keep it alive. And that's some good work on that right side by Maylee Moses. Then Franklin goes up 3. So now the Chargers, as we just talked about, settling in. 3-point lead. Hall, bump up. Back row attack for Steinkamp. Chargers read it. Set up their pin on the outside. And that one's out of bounds. 14-12. Ostrowski and Giroux about to check in. Checking out Maddie Morrissey and Sydney Stump. So Giroux adding some height. Ostrowski with that fiery left-handed serve. It's almost like a big drop ball in softball. Just automatically spins and heads toward the hardwood. There it goes. Dug out nicely. Chargers working their attack. Steinkamp is there. Bumped up by Ostrowski. Little bump across. Chargers answer. Back on offense. Knocked over. Worked by Ostrowski. Louise Hall. Steinkamp blocked. Kept alive by the Chargers. Set up by the libero. Moses is there. And Moses parting the Seton defense. Now 15-12, and that gets their fan base going. Checking in, number 1, Holly Walker, up front. Lexi Kohlberg. A nice service run for the Chargers. Keene back row. Ostrowski back to Keene. Keene across the court. Moses is there, setting up that left side, and that's going to be out of bounds. That time the set just was not there. 15-13. Rylan Keene going to work. And Keene fires up the ace. 15-14. The sophomore, an area of a game that can improve, and she could become a force at that service line as well. Not that she was bad by any means last year, but has the ability to be dynamic at that position. And how about Fia Fisher? Getting up like a champ, and we're knotted at 15. 15 all from Seton Catholic. 18 minutes after 7. Do you know where your Freddie for the Flamingo is? Another great serve by Keene. Knocked over. Ostrowski, little bump over, and how about the great read by Fia Fisher? Fia, high IQ play. Can't stress enough. Doesn't always have to be with tremendous impact. Sometimes it's all about location. Sentinels up 1. Keene right in the middle of the floor. Gets over. Hall setting it up. Ostrowski. Steinkamp across the way, kept alive by the Chargers. They worked their left pin. Blocked by Seton and out of bounds. Off the wire. Now the Sentinels up 17-15. We'll take a short timeout. Caffeine is good, and Joey P needs some. So the big question a short time ago with the referees and the Chargers, there was some discrepancies on the uniforms and the numbers submitted, because once you submit your rosters, if numbers don't match, it causes chaos, and it could lead to potential forfeit, disqualifications, or in Ghostbusters, cats, dogs living together in mass hysteria. Needs to say, we got it all figured out. And Tina says we're good to go. Life is all good, and the apes are not taking over the planet. So I think we're in a good place, Paulo Hutchison. I think we've got the ability to play volleyball right now. So as we continue on, 17-15, Rylan Keene. Super sophomore extraordinaire. So good on the mic the other day when we talked to Rylan. Out of the shell. Last year a little bit shy. But, you know, 1 year does wonders. And Keene was wonderful on the mic and always wonderful on the court. Good block up front by Steinkamp and Fisher. Ostrowski. Steinkamp. And I believe that's an illegal formation.
Illegal formation? Is that illegal formation? What was the call?
Double hit. Double hit against Seton. Had to get the verification from Tina Anderson, who was so kind. 17-16. And Sarah Giroux on the miss hit. So we're back at 17. Maylee Moses on the serve. Now the students are up and running. Steinkamp, Keene. Steinkamp, back row attack. And the miss hit. 18-17. So the Chargers have weathered that first set storm in which they looked anything like the team that made the playoffs last year and have regrouped nicely. Moses, Hall, Ostrowski, and Steinkamp. And Steinkamp gets a break right there because that one was going out of bounds, and Ben Franklin on the back row. Players stuck their hand out to make contact. 18s, that's what we got. Thea Fisher so good in that first set, part of that 11-0 run at the service line. Sentinels now up 19-18. On the formation mistake by Ben Franklin. Knocked across. Chargers sitting up their right side. Knocked over by Forsgren. Fisher, Ostrowski, Steinkamp. Moses is there in the middle. Giroux. Outside. And a good piece of placement by Sarah Householder. 19-19. Who wants it more from the campus of Seton Catholic in this second set? Seton dominated the first set 25-14. They were up big at one point, 21-6. Chargers looking like a completely different team since. Maddie Bell in the middle. Chargers keep it alive. Good hustling effort by the libero. Steinkamp, Ostrowski, Steinkamp will blast it. Moses is there. All of a sudden, the Chargers are really good placement on the pins for the Sentinels. Maddie Bell shoots in the middle, and that one drops. Bell, good placement. 20-19, Seton. Maddie Morrissey and Sydney Stump coming in. Morrissey in the middle, going to work. Back row. Outside. And tremendous effort by Maddie Bell. Getting up like a champ and denying and delivering for Seton. 21-19. Timeout on the floor for the Chargers. This one, a back and forth affair after Seton won the first set. They got out to a 21-5 lead, holding on 25-14. This one, a battle throughout. Tied at 9. 15-12, Ben Franklin advantage. Seton going up 17-15. And now it's Seton with a 21-19 lead. And Tina Anderson having a conversation with the institution of Seton Athletics. John, who does a little bit of everything right here. Good crowd on hand, good energy, families, alumni, friends, great coaches like Carter Abey and Karen Self checking in on the action. And once again, Carter and the men's team, they're going to have the postseason tournament. Thanksgiving weekend, November 29th and 30th. A slew of teams will be here, and we're going to have the call all day. So whatever you do, pound that turkey, pound that pumpkin pie, and then if you don't get enough football on Friday, pop us on, and we've got high school hoops galore. Early in the morning, all the way to the evening. Morrissey on the serve. Almost drops in. Chargers off the tape. Morrissey in the middle. Bell blasted. Chargers trying to keep it alive. They do just enough, and not enough on the back end by Carolee Sanders. 22-19. Morrissey, the junior, right in the middle and almost serves up the ace. And how about Sydney Stumpf getting in on the action? 23-19, Sentinels 2 points away. Stumpf, good hard serve. Moses digs it out. Kept alive by Seton. And Maddie Bell with the winner. And it's set point for the Sentinels. Morrissey on a good run. And the Sentinels with a chance to close this set out and go up 2-0. Now a conversation for Scott Anderson, the chair ref. Him and Tina doing a tremendous job, by the way. The husband and wife team. It's almost like the husband and wife law firm, except volleyball style. Morrissey. And Morrissey shoots that long. So Ben Franklin looking for some electricity to stay alive in this one. 4-point deficit. Going to serve. Holly Walker, the lefty. Keene is there. Morrissey blasted, and that does it. Sydney Stumpf, and the Sentinels take the second set 25-20. They are up 2-0. Short timeout. More to come from John J. McMahon Gym. So we are about to go to the third set right here on the campus of John J. McMahon Gym. Sentinels opening the season, taking on Ben Franklin, the first ever meeting between these two teams. Sentinels moving from Class 4A to 3A. The Chargers losing in the quarterfinals last year. Sentinels won the first set 25-14, took the second set 25-20. And we wish the very best to new athletic director Jim Shoebridge and his new assistant athletic director Kara Shea, as well as the lovely Jen Hutchison and athletic trainer Jasmine Woods, who does a tremendous job. She is everywhere on campus and not needed tonight, thank goodness. But Jasmine is everywhere and does a tremendous job. You name it, when the Sentinels are playing, Jasmine is there, out in force, ready to take care of the wounded, the injured, and those in need. So here we go, third set action. Sentinels looking to close this one out. And that one is out. Good read by the Sentinels for the first point. Sienna Morales in on the floor. Sienna, good conversation for the senior. Maddie Bell will fire it up. And that handcuffs Lexi Kohlberg, the libero. Had a bad read on it. And the Sentinels go up 2-0. Maddie Bell, no aces last year. Several in this one. Maddie, another good serve. Kept alive, and Sentinels charging out. And they are making this easy. 3-0 advantage. Maddie on serve. Maddie, nice hard core serves. Busted across by Moses. 3-1, and that turns things over as Louise Hall steps in. Good run by Maddie to get the Sentinels going in the right direction. Service action for Chargers. Chloe Wright. Student section starting to get fired up again. Morales on the misread. Now 3-2. Wright looking to even this one. They go right back to Morales. This time a good read. Keene on the back row. Wright was there. Outside pin for the Chargers. Bumped over. Keene. Morrissey. Stumpf on the miss hit. Even Steven at 3 apiece. And the Chargers fighting for their match lives in this third set. And that one's going to be long. Service error, always such a killer. Ostrowski and Sarah Giroux about to check in. Stumpf and Morrissey checking out. This Sentinels team, they got athletes, they got hitters, and so far they have enough of a set game. Showing it early. Ostrowski, nice hard serve, the lefty. Randy Johnson style, firing it up. Just enough to get across. Keene, little battle at the net. Chargers setting it back up left side. Moses, and that drops in. RK. Elevating like a champ. 5-3. Sentinels. Ostrowski. Looking to stay on this hot run for the Sentinels. Next week, Tuesday, the team's right back at it, taking on Thatcher. It's going to be a new 3A rivalry, and Keene yet again. 6-3 Sentinels. We'll talk about the realignment. Sentinels in a bunch of different divisions. They're still in 4A for football. We'll see if we can kind of find that correspondence. On serve, Lexi Kohlberg. Hall in the back row. Keene, right side. Kohlberg, and a miscommunication. And that is a tough read for the Chargers. So the conference alignment going forward as Keene busts in that back row. Sentinels right there, they keep it alive. Steinkamp knocks it to the back row. Chargers outside. And a good winner by Bentley Forsgren. 7-5. So in football, the Sentinels will be in the 4A Southwest. Flag football, the 4A Desert Sky. Volleyball, the 3A Central. Basketball, 3A Central. Soccer, 3A Metro. Wrestling, Division 4, Section 3. Another point there for Ben Franklin. Spring, 3A Central, as well as softball. Tennis, D3, Section 4. Track and field, Division Section 4. And volleyball boys, 3A Metro. So that kind of breaks it down in all kinds of different ways. Colesburg, back row. Keene is there. Now a 7-6 third set. Steinkamp off the top. 8-6, Maddie Bell checking in. Louise Hall checking out. Busy day on the campus of Seton Catholic. Fia Fisher, so good in that first set, that tremendous run. Handcuffed the back row, and that really ate up J.C. Blair. Not a strong receive by Blair, kind of handcuffed the Chargers in the back row. Now 9-6. Going back in, Sarah Holzhauser. Make that Sarah Householder. If first you don't succeed, well, you get better. Fia Fisher lets it rip. And Fia almost threw a perfect knuckleball, Charlie Huff style, for the ace. Fia, Maddie Bell. Net violation. Seton's up 10-6. Closing in, they've won the first set 25-14, second set 25-20. Great action, great energy from Seton Catholic. Fia shoots it across. Colesburg, worked in the middle by Carolee Sanders. Sentinels keeping alive. Knocked over by Ostrowski. Benali. Fisher's got the answer. Chargers, Colesburg. Right side, Keene, back row. Little bump across, and talk about a nice read. Ostrowski, little spin job. Sentinels on a nice little run. Moses, bumped over. Fisher, Ostrowski. Sarah Giroux, good work by Maddie Bell. Good work at the net again by the Sentinels, pushing that back row. Right side attack. Good hustling effort by the Sentinels. Keene, little push across. Benali, and the miss hit up front by Carolee Sanders. And the Sentinels right now on a 5-0 run. They are up 12-6. So as we mentioned, next week, the Sentinels are back at it on home court. As they'll take on Thatcher. Thatcher, part of one of those teams in the White Mountains area from the 3A South section area. a division that also includes Andrada Polytechnique, Catalina, Empire, Palo Verde, Push Ridge Christian Academy, Sabino, Safford, Tanquay Verde, or Thatcher as well. Now that might be, I have to correct myself here, that might be heading toward the Tucson area. I might be wrong, bear with me. So, and then football team. They open up on the road this week. On Friday night, Fisher. Misaligned formation by the Chargers. Now 13-6. Sentinels halfway home to closing this one out in 3. Thea fires it up. Almost the ace. Colesburg dug it out. Pushed across. And Keene diving effort on the miss hit on the back row. 13-7. Wish the Sentinels football team the best of luck on Friday. Keene is there. Maddie Bell. A double hit by Seton. Now 13-8. Steinkamp digs it. Goes back to Steinhammer. Steinhammer fires it home. And Elizabeth's mom is in the house tonight. She's in the front row, right across the way. That might be Grandma Steinkamp, who I heard was a great athlete in her time. Maddie Morrissey looking to do some damage. Back row, Curly Sanders, Moses. Morrissey is there, Kohlberg in the middle, Benali. And that one is in favor. Net violation against the Sentinels. And there is Elizabeth Steinkamp's mom right there, and that might be Grandma Steinkamp. Sentinels on the road, taking on Ironwood Ridge. So we wish Sentinels and Pete Walheim, the team just scrimmaged last week against PV, a good one. Looked good, a lot of high hopes for the season for Pete and the team. Wish them the best of luck. And now Tina Anderson having a conversation. On the floor right now for the Sentinels, Maddie Bell, Sydney Stump, Louise Hall, Rylan Keene, Elizabeth Steinkamp, and Maddie Morrissey. Maddie's played a great match. So Sentinels are without their starting center, and that is Sophia Shalapur, the senior setter, over 500 kills last year. Broke her arm right before the season. But, you know, the Sentinels aren't going to cry the blues. They can't afford to. They've got to play on. They've got talent. And right now, Tina Anderson, the floor judge, is having a conversation with John, the scorer, and they're trying to sort everything out. So as we look at the coaches for Seton this year, Mark Bakeman, boys golf, Dean Aulette, cross country, Pete Walheim, football, Tony Stevenson, girls golf, Billy Baker, girls flag football, just to name a few. Misaligned formation. 15-9, and that's critical right now. The Chargers played a much better second set. And we are back to live action. A little bit of a delay. It's almost like the remote. You have it on pause for a split second. Sentinels net violation. 15-10. Santa Morales checking in. Steinkamp checking out. Sanders. Hall. Good effort, but could not dig it out. 15-11. More coaches on campus. James Johnson, of course, girls volleyball. Mallory Summers, Spirit Cheer, as well as Ivy Atkinson, Spirit Line and Palm. Good effort by Morrissey. Morales, good work. Left side attack. Keene kept alive by the Chargers. Morrissey. And Moses, the winner at the net. 15-12. Todd Merrill, swim and dive. Carter Abey, boys basketball coach. Morales knocks it over. Colesberg in the middle, and that is long. The Sentinels break that 3-0 run. 16-12. Billy Baker, boys soccer. Karen Self, girls basketball. Billy Baker, girls soccer. Spring sports, Brian Stevenson. Baseball, Steve Heimlich. Beach volleyball, John Engelbert, boys volleyball. Good ace. Served up by Maddie Bell, now 17-12. Angelo Felicia, boys tennis. Kelly Bell, girls tennis. Knocked across. Colesberg. Rylan Keene, you know, she wanted that one back. She should have thrown that down a little harder. Morrissey, stump, blocked at the net, and going up hard. And coming down was the great effort by Sarah Householder. Ian Rogers, the new softball coach. Jim Shoebridge, of course, athletic director and track and field, and Roman DeCaro and Noah DeCaro do just about everything on campus, and we wish them nothing but the best this year. Oh, and the miss hit by the Chargers. Looks like that was Moses, who was having such a great match and just comes up with the attack error. 18-13. Ostrowski going to work. Giroux in the middle. Shot across. Chargers setting up their pin. And a good, hard return by Taylor Oliver. 18-14. Lexi Kohlberg going to work. Work to the middle. Right side, Keene. Keene busted out. 19-14. Sentinels closing in. And a timeout on the floor. And Tina Anderson and Scott Anderson talk it through. Short timeout. 19-14. Got a shout out by the student section. That was something nice and unexpected. Going back to work the Chargers. Keene, back end. Ostrowski setting up Steinkamp, and Elizabeth steins it through. 20-14. Seton 5 points away from their first victory in a straight set match win over Ben Franklin. Keene, the super sophomore, on the service line. Back row, the Chargers do just enough. Do they have enough? Push, they do. Fisher, set up, me in the middle. Kept alive by Ostrowski. Hall, left side. Steinkamp busted right through Benelli. 21-14. Sentinels. And you hear the student section. Lizzie Steinkamp. Keene about to go to work. Service error. 21-15. Coming in to get some time. Carmen Arce, a senior, on that back row. Always good to see some new faces that have earned their time to get a little PT. Ostrowski, Sarah Giroux. Giroux the winner. And by the way, she's a freshman. Giroux, 5'10", part of the Seton Catholic Genetic Lab of volleyball height. Fia Fisher on the serve. Fisher dug out by the Chargers. Little bump over. Good hustling effort by Ostrowski. Chargers yet again. And that is a winner by Forsgren. Chargers not done yet. Fighting for their match lives. And the referees, the change of direction. They award the point to Seton. Sentinels now 2 points away. Fisher, so good in that first set. Chargers, back row attack. Hustling, kept alive, great work. Knocked over. Talk about Ostrowski with the hustle. And Benali on that great effort. 23-16. We've got Carmen Arce in that back row getting some love from the fan base. Forsgren, Steinkamp, Ostrowski, Giroux shoots it. Set up nicely. Little soft touch. Seton wins the point. Net violation, 24-16. Set and match point. Stumpf and Morrissey going in. Maddie Morrissey doing some nice work in this match. Keeping things alive. Hall, Steinkamp. Steinkamp fires it long. (24-17). Benali. Hall digs it out. Morrissey, good work. Steinkamp across the way. And Steinkamp closes it out. Make that Sydney Stumpf on the kill. And the Sentinels get it done. 25-14, 25-20, and 25-17. A great start to the season. Jumping into the 4A Central. And an impressive home showing with a 3-set victory. Keep it right here. Some interviews coming up post-game style on the Seton Catholic Sports Network. We welcome in the Steinhammer Elizabeth Steinkamp, and an impressive performance by this team, a 3-set victory against a Ben Franklin team that lost in the state quarterfinals, and you do it in convincing fashion in 3 sets. Elizabeth, talk about the dominance of this team. You won the first set 25-14, you won that great 11-0 run, and you secured it, and you're going home early.
Yeah, we definitely started out strong. We all fought, and our whole team put in effort and like energy, and you could see that on the court.
Yeah, we saw that from the court, and let's talk about the amount of different areas where the talent was heavily displayed. You on the outside, Rylan on the other side. Your middles between Maddie and Fia, and you got great efforts from Sarah Giroux coming off. Sydney Stumpf was great. Maddie Morrissey was great as well. Just a complete effort. So can you talk about the different aspects of your team and how everyone contributed tonight?
This is definitely one of our strongest hitting years, and we have the setters to back it up, and you can see it on the court. We have every position for hitting is full with skill.
And we talk about the skill, but let's talk about the energy from your classmates. You know, everyone decked out the red, white, and blue. God bless America. Needless to say, they were bringing the energy and then some. How great was it to play behind a student section that really brought their A game tonight?
It was pretty amazing. Energy is a big part of the game, and they hype us up.
Yeah, and I saw your mom was here, and grandmother, and your dad, right?
Yep.
The whole Steinkamp clan.
Whole family.
Yeah. Okay, so you got the first one out of the way, and how good is it to feel to get that first one and set the tone in a positive way?
It feels pretty good, just the start of our season.
You know, and the most important thing in this opener is the ability to answer some questions, the elephant in the room. No Sophia Shalapur, and how everyone collectively stepped up and provided a lot of work on that setting position and setting up the teammates. Talk about what you saw collectively from the team in that aspect.
I think there was definitely a lot of pressure on our setters, and I think they took that pressure and used it to the best of their abilities. Like, I've never seen them perform so well, and I'm proud of them.
There you go. Proud and getting it done across the room. Elizabeth Steinkamp setting the tone. A lot of kills, a lot of great hops on that left side in that pin position. Keep it locked. One more interview before we shut it down from John J. McMahon Gym. And we welcome in Maddie Morrissey, who showed a lot of poise and set up her teammates in so many different ways tonight. And Maddie, for you personally, you waited some time to get your court time for this program, and you're out there tonight, you're delivering. How good did it feel for you to go out there and be a positive force and do a lot of great things on the court?
It felt great. I am very close with a lot of these teammates, and I haven't been able to play with them, being on JV last year. So first year on varsity as a junior, being able to play with some of my closest friends, it feels like great, and I know I'm going to make so many memories this year. And it's just like a different feeling with all the people in the crowd, all the teammates cheering you on, the coaches. It's like pressure, but it's pressure to play good and have fun.
Yeah, pressure comes with playing on a good high-level team. And along the way, you've answered some questions tonight for folks out there that were questioning, okay, no Sophia Shalapur, how are things going to go down? And you went and stepped up, and you played a great match. And how much did it mean to you to come out there and show, look, we're not going to drop off, we're not going to fall off a cliff, we've got the personnel here to get it done?
Yeah, so it was big shoes to fill, and I'm never going to fill because no one's like Sophia, no one's like anyone. But it was nerve-wracking going in, losing the starting varsity setter, but I worked very hard to get started playing time and try my best to be the next best setter on the team. So it was nerve-wracking to fill her shoes, but she's the best setter, and she's there, been supporting me behind my back, been here even after a fractured elbow, supporting everyone on the team.
So for you personally, how good does it feel to get the W and just exhale?
Yeah.
And kind of breathe it out and realize, okay, we got it done. The
Yeah.
first one's out of the way. How good does that feel?
It feels really good. I'm glad I went to 3 sets. I don't know if I could have taken much more being at the first varsity home game, but it was fun. nice deep breath. Got all the first home game jitters out of the way too, so it feels good.
Did it feel good in playing in front of a very rabid student section that brought their A game tonight?
Yeah, it did. I didn't really notice it unless it was like silent, but in the game, I don't notice them cheering, but I just feed off their energy and it makes me hyper and it makes the whole team happy. It's nice.
There you go, Maddie Morrissey, so good in her first outing for the Sentinels, a convincing 3-set victory over visiting Ben Franklin. We'll wrap this one up from John J. McMahon Gym in just a moment. So we welcome you back inside John J. McMahon Gym. Riley Johnson was about to scoot over. She's more than welcome to join me unless she wants to hop on the mic. She's like, no, I'm done. I will not talk. And I've tried to get her on camera so many times, and she refuses to talk on camera. It's okay. We love her regardless. Needs to say for the Sentinels, a great first outing, a 3-set victory over Ben Franklin, a squad that lost in the 3A quarterfinals. The Sentinels tonight, they showed their power from the outside. With Keene and Steinkamp, they showed their abilities in the middle. With Fia Fisher, along with Maddie Bell, they showed some new young talent in Sarah Giroux and Maddie Morrissey stepping in. A slew of talent, and this team is going to be a force in 3A. And who knows, maybe it's just part of their journey to eventually have an opportunity to raise and hoist the gold ball. Their next match is next Tuesday, hosting Thatcher right here at John J. McMahon Gym. Of course, for the football team, they're on the road Friday. We wish them the best of luck, and we'll see you here real soon. Paulo Hutchinson on the live stream, all the good people at Seton Catholic. I'm Joe Pequeno. Have a great night.